The following is rated F for fairness. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Welcome to the O'Neil Show.
Okay, so when I started Skitland about 5 years ago, I started Skitland because I figured that Wayne had a particular product or service in the form of skits, basically, that was being paired out to the black community. And I figured that it was actually transcending. In fact, I felt the topics were so close and vital that I saw the cultural similarities. In other words, things occurring here in the US are things that people in Jamaica is also facing. I also have come to realize that other Caribbean areas, like, your Trinidadians, you had people from Antigua, you had people from Barbados, other people were seeing the same things with these particular skits. Now, after having a wonderful skit today with the whole idea of Kai, because, see, art is art, and I still appreciate art, they gave the art of saying, well, would you be okay? Would you take any sides if you saw a married couple arguing in front of a child? That's the question, but they're just asking it to you in the form of a skit. And so I responded to it because there was someone that says, no, only the baby is just one. And I responded to that and I said, no, actually, this is one of those fallacies that we actually have here in the black community. And I used to think the same thing too, but I realized after a period of time, that this is not really so. Tbaby has taken the liberty of leaving me a comment. And comments like these, I don't get disappointed because for me, I don't mind at all comments. What I will respond to is though comments that people start to see exactly if they can attack the reviewers who are reviewing the particular skits. Look, if you don't like what a reviewer is saying, then you can switch off or you can go watch another reviewer. If you think that it don't align with the values that you have, then nothing is wrong with that because basically you're not willing to engage. Right? If you're not willing to engage, then you can just turn your thing off and wait until they have something that you would actually want to watch. Tbaby, I will say that I'm disappointed that you have posted this because it looks like another black person. It looks like you're verifying or confirming the bias that us black people are a bit ignorant and we don't know how to just hold conversations about things that we're seeing or witnessing. Tbaby says, oh my God, like I said, you're too invested in this and it's not a real skit. Tbaby, we're quite aware. O'Neil has been on stage since he's been 8, which is a very, very long time. I've played many characters. Many of the pieces that have been in the skits, I've played them. Right? Now, this is now Shayla's time and Amber's time and Anthony's time. And that's how the art of theater works. Everyone has their time. It's now their time to shine, not mine. I'm now sitting on the side of a review and looking and saying, I like this, I like that, and looking at the topic more so than anything else. Because to be honest, I believe all the actors and actresses are doing a phenomenal job because of how charged up and how they're making the topics believable and realistic where we can actually have a real nice discussion about it. So yes, we are aware, Tbaby, that the actual skits are not real. We know we're not that dumb. We know that they're not real, and that's why we keep referring to the people as the Amber character or the Anthony character or the Shayla character. And I've said many and many times that, sure, friends, when we're talking about things, we're talking about the characters and we're not talking about the actual people themselves. And I've always said, do not attack the actual people. As a matter of fact, if you are feeling what the actual people are doing, like, for example, if you feel upset when you see a Shayla, it means she's doing her job right. Anyways, next thing she says is, damn, Kai has more money than you and you're doing commentary on the skits. Tbaby, I actually work. I'm an employed young man, and I'm employed well as well too. Very, very well employed. So, in other words, I'm able to pay the bills without YouTube. Without the YouTube space, I'm able to actually pay the bills. So, I'm not quite certain what this was supposed to mean, but I know it's a personal shot. Look, I really am disappointed that you have come to a platform to watch reviews on a skit and laugh about it, but you're now you're basically subjecting yourself to basically shots. No, you're subjecting yourself to personal shots because I don't know you and you don't know me. Well, you only know what I've told you, right? That you've subjected yourself to personal shots because of a skit. It makes you look basically as though you're not very smart. It makes you look like you're ignorant. And I don't believe that that is so, but it just makes you look like that when you start to make personal shots. What does Kai having more money as an actor, as a little child star, having to do with the people commenting on the skits? What does that have to do with it? We were talking about the topic, and the topic was, hey, if you have two parents arguing in front of a kid, does it have any impact on the child? Would you be okay with that? Those are the questions being asked. But because the conversation may have been too much for you, or it is that what's happening is that you don't find the constant pressure we give to the Amber character. And again, notice the word character, because of what we're seeing on the skits from the Amber character, not Amber the person, the Amber character. You have taken it upon yourself to decide that, you know what, you're going to go in an all out now personal attacking war. Well, I will not personally attack you because I have more class than that and more dignity. And I'm a professional, so I'm supposed to angle myself professionally in any given space. So I will never ever allow a fan to basically get me there. I just wanted you to know that it's quite disappointing that you're watching reviews of a skit or reviews of anything, and you're basically now making personal attacks because the reviewer, right, is basically not giving you what you're looking for. Or is that the point of view that you're trying to bring across, the reviewer don't agree with, or the reviewer is giving you a point that you don't agree with? Nothing is wrong with that. If you want to say you don't agree with the point of view, that's perfectly fine. We're arguing a point of view, not the person. But again, I won't take shots at you because I'm a gentleman. I've always been a gentleman. And I always will be a gentleman. And little comments don't draw Oneil out. However, it saddens me though to know that we're not able to discuss things without anything at all, because you do have people actually talk about other things, like for example Harry Potter, or they may talk about Dragon Ball Z or whatever other show that's very very big. You do have reviewers of those platforms, and they don't really handle it like what you're kind of doing right here, but hey, I hope this gets to you, friends. Remember, yes, Tbaby, we know, is a skit. We're quite aware. That's exactly why we don't take it too serious, and we keep telling you to smile. And that's exactly why my presentation as to how I review is somewhat, a lot of times comical, and it goes through different cycles, because I also want you to remember to laugh when you're discussing the topic. Hope this helps. Hope to see you at some point watching. If you don't want to watch, you can always turn it off. You can always unsubscribe. Oneil is not begging subscriptions. I'm not. I'm in the business of engaging people who want to be engaged, who want to share a topic, who want to bring something forward. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm going to talk to y'all soon.